Hello everybody, I'm Jackie K. Cooper here with...
AG the intern. Hello everyone.
This is a great day to be here.
Great day.
I'm a little bit nervous about this.
Are you nervous?
Yeah.
You should be.
Whoa. We're turning the tables. A few weeks ago, we did a thing called Questions for the Intern,
Right.
where I asked Amber, 8 or 10 questions, just random. Now she gets to...
I get to ask Jackie some questions today. And I came up
Random.
with these. I had a little bit of help from my friends and family. I was like, give me some ideas.
Oh, did you really?
Just a little bit, because I wanted good questions.
Oh,
you know?
good, deep questions.
I wanted good, deep questions.
Dig deep.
Digging deep here. Without further ado, we'll just jump
Let's
right
jump
into
right
it. What do you
in.
think? All right,
Okay.
so we're going to start off.
Uh-huh.
We're going to start off easy, okay?
Oh, good.
All right, Jackie, what is your favorite restaurant?
My favorite restaurant, and if I like to go out to the Oil Lamp here in Period. And I like to eat there because I know all the people, and it's just like going to Cheers.
Uh-huh.
Everybody knows your name.
Yeah.
But when my wife and I go out to eat,
Uh-huh.
I like to go to a place called Christian's up in Macon. Have you ever been there?
No, I haven't even heard of
It
it.
is a super. Oh, you're gonna have to go.
Okay.
The guy Christian is the chef. He is the nicest guy, and it's I know you and I talked about this. You aren't a fine dining person.
Not
that way.
really, not really.
My wife loves ambiance.
Uh-huh.
She would. It doesn't have to be. It's greater food if you have it on a linen tablecloth
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
all the
It's the experience.
accoutrements or
Yeah.
whatever. That's our go-to place for special occasions. We don't do this every week. Let's go to Christian. But
Yeah.
for a special time.
For a
that's where
special
we go.
time. Okay, well maybe I'll check it out.
Oil Lamp and Christians.
Oil Lamp and Christians. Alrighty.
Do you ever go to Oil Lamp?
I do. I actually had it this week. It was
Did you
really
really?
good.
I
Yeah.
was out there twice this week.
Super yummy. Number 2. So I know that you've lived a few different places in your life, right?
Not many. but
Not
it's-
many, but just more than me. What is your favorite place you've ever lived?
Let me tell you, I love Perry.
Yeah.
Love Perry.
Cute little town that we live in here.
More than cute little
More than
town.
cute.
It's,
Yeah.
it's a community.
It is.
It's
It really
a
is.
community. But we lived in Rocky Mount, North Carolina.
Yep.
When I got married, I was in the military. We were Robins Air Force Base, and then when we got out of the military, I went to work. You don't know this.
Okay.
I went to work for Hardee's.
Hardee's. I didn't know
the
this.
hamburger.
Jackie, you have worked so many places, I feel like.
I went to work at Hardee's as a real estate attorney.
Interesting.
I went all over the country, preparing contracts, buying up land for Hardee's to be built on.
Interesting. I didn't know that, Jackie.
And Hardee's headquarters was in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. And so that's where we lived. And we made the best friends.
Yeah.
I wasn't as young as everybody else, but young couples. We found a great church, and we had maybe 3 or 4 couples that we were just really good friends. We got to get together to eat. We got together to go out to eat. We played board games. It was just. We were all in pretty much the same, on our first jobs, type of
Same
thing.
stage of life, kind of, sort of.
Yeah. It's a great stage of life.
Yeah.
It really is. We were only in Rocky Mount, and I got offered the job at the base, and so we were there, but maybe a little bit over a year. But Rocky Mount holds a special place in my heart.
All right. Yeah, I've never been there, but maybe one day on
Rocky Mount.
I take a lot of road trips. Maybe I'll see it one day. So yeah, we'll see.
You might, or you'll drive in and you'll say, oh, this is where
Jackie lived. Yeah. All right, number 3, Jackie.
3.
Your favorite movie of all time. I feel like maybe we've touched on it before, maybe we haven't, but I would like to know, what is your favorite movie?
Growing up, the big movie that, stayed in my mind was Gone with the Wind.
Okay.
Have you ever seen Gone with the Wind?
No, Jackie.
Now, some people don't approve of Gone with the Wind now because it did portray slavery and things like that. But the love dynamic of Scarlett O'Hara and Rhett Butler, who were the main counterparts, was just amazing. And I remember we drove to, the movie came out in 39, I think. So I was not alive when it came out.
Yeah.
And,
Wow.
Yeah, that's a long time ago. But I remember it was re-released sometimes in the early 50s.
Okay.
And we drove, we didn't have a lot of money. And so this was big. We drove to Atlanta to see it at Lowe's Theater where it had premiered when it first came out. And so that movie, it has a special place because my family went
Right,
together to see
right.
it. But the other movie, and one I think you ought to watch it sometime, is called The Way We Were.
The Way We Were.
With Barbara Streisand and
Okay.
Robert Redford.
Maybe you have mentioned that
I've
before.
mentioned that one before.
Okay, The Way
because
We Were.
Terry and I, my wife and I, always said if we were on one of those quiz shows and they said, okay, you had to give your answer, see if it matched with hers. And if they asked you your favorite movie, say The Way We Were.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
that's it.
Okay. All
But
right.
I do like your favorite too,
My favorite?
The Greatest Showman.
The Greatest Showman.
I do
Yes.
like that.
I love that
I do
movie,
too.
Jackie.
I do too.
Oh, I want to watch it right now. Maybe I'll go home and watch it. Alrighty, number 4 here.
All right.
Your favorite book of all time. What is it, Jackie?
You know what this is.
I do. Did we talk about it? I feel like we talked about it this week, actually.
Yes, we did.
Oh, don't put me on the spot.
It's Pat Conroy,
Oh,
Prince of Tides.
that's right. That's right.
Pat Conroy, my favorite
Yeah.
all-time author. And The Prince of Tides, to me, was his best book. And we talk about it on Instagram this week. So
Yeah. Go check out Instagram and you'll hear all about Jackie's interactions with Pat. So, number 5.
these are good.
These are good, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, what is your favorite place you've ever traveled for work? So, like, they fly you out to this place, or whatever.
Hawaii, the movie Pearl Harbor.
Which we've talked about before,
Yes, but you haven't seen it.
and I haven't seen it.
You need to put
Who's
it on your-
surprised?
Put it on your list.
Put it on my list.
But they flew us to Hawaii, and the movie premiere, I think I told you, was on a big battleship.
Right.
They put a screen up in Pearl Harbor, and we watched that. Everything, I had heard about Hawaii all my life, about how beautiful it was, blah, 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 and I thought, it can't be that great. It was.
It was that
It
great.
was. Have you ever been to Hawaii?
I have not been to Hawaii.
Oh my gosh, I've been somewhere you haven't been.
Right? Yeah,
And
you
you're a
got me
traveler.
on that one. You got me on that one. Someone sent me to Hawaii.
That and Cancun.
Cancun. I've never been there either.
They sent me to Cancun one time, and what was so great was you stayed in these little habanas or whatever. It was just a little room, but every little building had its own swimming pool.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was.
Well, I wanna go.
I'm in a place, and I got my own swimming pool.
I want to go.
That was.
Maybe I will.
I don't like to fly.
Yeah.
Those were 2 long trips to Hawaii and to Cancun.
Yeah. Alrighty. Good answers. I'm
You're-
jealous.
You've done a lot more traveling than me.
That's
For such
okay.
a young age.
You've met more celebrities than me,
Oh,
so who's the real winner?
All right.
Anyway, so who was the very first celebrity you ever interviewed, and how nervous were you?
I was thinking about this the other day, that I remember, this is probably the first, as I recall, because it was, they called up and said, we would like to send you to New Orleans for a press junket. And it was a movie, I can't remember the name of the movie, but Melanie Griffin? Okay. Do you know who Dakota Johnson is?
Yes, I am familiar with that name.
Melanie Griffin is Dakota Johnson's mother.
Mom. Okay. All right. Well, that makes sense.
Golly, I have to arrange some.
Golly.
And Tippi Hedren's granddaughter. You never heard of Tippi
No.
Hedren? There was a movie
No,
called
no.
The Birds, where birds that had Tippi Hedren would star. Anyway,
I
but
don't know.
Melanie Griffin and Jeff Daniel and Ray Liotta. I know those names are just, whew, boy,
I have
you are.
no idea.
But
No
those were fairly big stars, and there I was in New Orleans. And I remember they said, okay, time for you to interview him. And, and I had my little notepad.
Yeah.
And
Notepad and pen
and I
shaking.
thought, they're going to discover that, that I write for the Houston Home Journal, not the Houston Home
The
Journal.
Houston Home Journal? Yeah, we live in Houston County,
Houston,
not Houston County.
Yeah, I was. But I quickly got over it. And I don't think I've, except Dolly Parton, we've told that story.
Oh, yeah.
How flustered I was when I interviewed her. But I think I've gotten used to it. I
Yeah.
really do.
They're just people, right?
They're just people. And
Yeah.
you've gotten into it now. And we've interviewed people. And you've
Yeah.
done, in there. So,
I think it's the anticipation that makes me more nervous. Like, once we sit down and start doing it, I'm
yeah,
like,
that's me. I mean,
ready.
I want all the technical stuff arranged.
Yeah.
And then I can relax.
yeah, I
Okay.
agree. Alrighty, so here we go. If you could interview anyone, dead or alive, who would it be?
The two. I would love to really have an in-depth interview with Pat Conroy. I've interviewed him, but just as a panel or group or whatever. But if I could have had a one-on-one in-depth. And then the regret of my life is that I never got to interview Elizabeth Taylor.
Elizabeth Taylor.
Do you know who she is?
I do.
Most beautiful woman. Oh my gosh. And I came so close so many times. She had made a movie, and I went to New York, and they came in and said, she's not feeling well. She's not going to be able to do it today.
I bet you were so disappointed.
I was like, and they said, but so-and-so is here, so-and-so is here.
I was like, I want Elizabeth Taylor.
And then when we lived in California, she was in L.A. doing a play. She didn't do that many plays. And I tried to get tickets, and she was sold out.
Yeah.
And so I was that close.
Yeah, you were close, but
those are the two.
Okay.
The two.
All right. Last one.
Last
We're going to wrap it up here, okay? So, in all...
Where do y'all see myself in 10 years?
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Alive.
Right here. Oh, gosh. That's not the question. Not the question. Okay. In all of your years of working... All your years of working in the entertainment industry, what is the biggest lesson you learned?
The biggest lesson I learned...
You can think about it if you need to.
No.
You know off the top of your head?
Yeah, because it ties in with other things I've been thinking about lately. But you hear people's stories of how they got into the position that they are as a Sandra Bullock or a Meryl Streep or whatever. And there's always a point where they could have stopped and gone into another direction. And for whatever reason, they persevered.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we look at it and think, oh, they're so lucky it just, happened. But everybody has a story, and just about everybody I've interviewed had a struggle.
Yeah.
And I think...
It's part of being human, right?
It's part of being human, and it gives you hope.
Yeah.
When they were in, Oklahoma, Texas or whatever, and they dreamed of being a big star or whatever, who would have thought it? They had no connections, etc. But things can work out.
Yeah.
I mean, you are only limited by what you can dream. That's my philosophy.
Yeah.
And that's what I've learned.
Yeah.
With writers, actors, musicians, whatever. You've got to keep that hope alive, and there will come a time when it's the fork in the road where you can go to maybe the easier, safer thing, or you can persevere.
Yep.
And those people persevered.
Yeah. That's great, Jackie.
All right.
Thank you for answering my questions.
Yeah.
I had a fun time.
Words to live by, young lady. Well, that was fun.
It was fun.
I really enjoyed that.
Me too.
All right. This has been Jackie K. Cooper being asked questions by
AG the intern.
Thank you, everybody.